Good morning, church. Emma and I miss seeing you, and we miss being together with you in person for worship on Sunday mornings, but we wanted you to know that we are well, we are safe at home, and we look forward to the day that we get to be back together again. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Shawna Turner, and I work with the St. Paul Urban Ministry, and I have been for almost 20 years now. The Urban Ministry was started by the Woodbury Church about 25 years ago in an effort to reach out to the Hmong community in St. Paul. You heard me say her name earlier, but I'm also the mom of Emma. She is my 8-year-old second grader that I love dearly and have been so blessed to be able to do life with. While we are missing our friends and our family and our church, I feel really thankful for the extra special time that God has given me with Emma. It's been a gift, and I feel like it's a time that I will not forget and one that I hope bears a lot of good fruit for our family in the years to come. I wanted to give you an update on how things are going in the urban ministry during this pandemic. I feel like we're doing pretty well considering the fact that we're made up of a group of people whose culture is very family and group oriented. We are about 50 people strong, made up mostly of Hmong young adults and young families. All of our families, I'm thankful to say, still have their jobs. They are able to either work from home or go into work every day, and they really haven't been adversely affected financially in this pandemic. So we have a lot to be thankful for. All are safe, all are well, and all are very grateful. As soon as this quarantine hit, I immediately started trying to figure out how we were going to continue church life. Because of our size and the nature of our group, Zoom was a very good option for us. So we are using Zoom for our Sunday night worship. We are using it for our weekly men's and women's Bible studies. I'm using it for my one-on-one studies, as well as planning meetings and things of that nature. I feel like there's been some pretty positive things that have come out of this virtual worship. I feel like we've been reaching more people. There were people that were struggling to be a part of our worship that are now regularly attending our virtual worship every Sunday. There are family members that are sitting in the same room with our church family, participating in our worship, helping on the technology end of things and listening, and I feel really grateful for the way that God is using this. I wanted to kind of bring you up to date on one of the things that God had done in the urban ministry before the pandemic hit. In December 2019, the urban ministry installed its first servant leaders. It was an incredibly exciting time for our church, and one in which God was growing and maturing our members and answering prayers that have been prayed for years for God to raise up leadership from within. We couldn't have anticipated the season ahead of us, but God's timing in appointing servant leadership in our church at this time was really perfect. Our focus words for 2020 are devoted and growth, and I feel like God has given us the perfect opportunity to do just that during this quarantine time. We started servant leader trainings with Steve Countryman back in February, and we have continued those trainings in this quarantine time via Zoom. So we are continuing to grow and mature and train our servant leaders during this time. I feel like I've really had to grow in my dependence on God and His Spirit every day to lead me to do the things that He knows are most needed and the things that He knows are most important each day, to be helpful, to give encouragement, and to bring hope to our church. I'm learning to trust that just as God is taking care of mine and Emma's needs, He's doing the same for my urban ministry family. One of the first things that I did after the quarantine started was I made a prayer book of urban ministry families with their pictures and some prayer prompts and requests and things that I knew would be important to bring to the Lord during this time. I did this in order to help me stay focused in prayer during this stay-at-home order. I feel like it's been the most important role that I have played in this church during this time. I'm an early riser, so my mornings before Emma gets up are spent in quiet time with the Lord. It's spent in prayer and in listening. As I make my way through my prayer book, praying for each of my families, asking God to lead me in ways to know how to encourage them each day. I reach out to specific ones daily as the Lord leads with encouragement. via text or call or a quick visit on the front porch with something comforting like coffee, a homemade treat, or maybe even a new devotional book. God has been really faithful to make me aware of the things that I need to be doing or need to know during this time. Even throughout the day, when I'm changing a load of laundry or I'm helping Emma with school, the Holy Spirit is prompting me and giving me ideas of things to do in the afternoon to serve our church family. God is so much bigger than our circumstances, and He continues to work powerfully. Besides organizing or preparing for Sunday worship, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday Bible studies, I'm in regular communication with our servant leaders through our chat, text, Zoom, etc., to share ideas that God has been giving me that I feel like fit with their role, to help support them in the execution of those ideas and to help keep them encouraged and activated during this time. Every week looks a little different, but that's normal even when we're not in a pandemic. As I'm sure you understand, it is hard for a church family who loves to be together to have to be apart. But we're doing our best to stay connected, to stay engaged and aware of what God is doing in us and wanting to do through us during these difficult times. I'm really thankful for the technology that we have and the ways that it's helped us stay connected. With that said, we're all really looking forward to the time that we get to be back together again in person. Emma and I are also looking forward to the day that we get to be back together with you again. But until then, may we all use these days to grow in our devotion to God and into our sensitivity to His Spirit. May we come out of this changed. I believe with all my heart that these are significant days. Blessings to you, church.